Hi, I'm Dan Rung, the president of Experienced Books. Experienced Books sells used books on the internet. We started business about 3 years ago. Started in a small 10,000 square foot facility. Outgrew that after about a year, moved into the adjacent space in addition into a 20,000 foot facility. Eventually outgrew that because we were just growing like a weed, and eventually had need of a much larger space. So about a year ago now, we went in search of a larger space. We rented a space in Paris, California, 47,000 square feet on a lease, and got in there, and we're doing fine, filling the building up, getting the book racks in, getting the inventory in, adding all this additional inventory. On our game plan, on our growth plan, just as we had projected all along, and then this recession came along. The recession, unfortunately, had a major impact on our business. Our sales are off something like 25 to 30%, and this happened virtually overnight and right into our best selling season, which is the fall and Christmas. We tend to peak up on our sales for the students going to college in August, and again December for Christmas sales, and then January for the students going back at the midterms. Anyway, so we were moving right along, and then August was good sales, September was good sales, October was like jumping off a cliff. We were taking a look at every expense that we had. We spent a lot of money on labor, we spent a lot of money on postage, rent, so on and so forth. We looked at every item we had expense-wise, and in almost every case we were able to find some way to save money. However, since we had moved from a much smaller facility to a much larger facility, our rent overhead was significant at this point. And we were in search of a solution to try to reduce, again, every cost item we had, and the rent was one thing that seemed like it was untouchable, because we have this 5-year lease that's $21,000 a month triple net, or about $25,000 a month gross. And we were trying to come up with a solution on, how to approach the landlord, or how to do it, who to talk to, whatever. So I started doing some research on the internet to find a company or a person that might be able to represent Experienced Books in a negotiation with the landlord, since our expertise has to do with, selling things on the internet or books, but it has nothing to do with negotiating leases with landlords, particularly, situations might be difficult like this. So in the process of Googling around, we ran across a site called the Lease Doctor, contacted them, talked to Pablo there, and was very impressed with his experience and background and what he thought he could do, and he represented us before the landlord. The net result of this representation was within a matter of weeks. We had negotiated a situation where we more or less got to skip 3 months of rent, which has been extremely invaluable to our company to help us bridge a gap until we can get a total handle on our costs, the situation that the economy is throwing at us, and all that. So we do believe that this has been extremely invaluable to the company, and should hopefully allow us to persevere and survive this recession and come out the other side smelling like a rose.